I think one of our major differentiators as CardinalStone is the fact that we have these other non-financial services businesses, and we've always believed and committed to doing those from day one. Now, when we started, the market didn't really see that because they were in the back burner and they were not what we put out in front and center. But in the course of time, as people have recognized that we've made these investments, we've groomed these investments, we've grown these investments, people have seen that there's an edge, there's a differentiation to us. Yes, we're advisors, but we're also entrepreneurs. We're business builders. We have a certain perspective, a certain empathy that some of our contemporaries might not have. And so I believe that that is something that the market is starting to recognize about us that makes us stand out from our peers. Aquamarine is a marine vessel operator. They own, operate, and lease marine vessels to the operators in the oil and gas sector. That's an investment we also made in 2010. It was an investment where we went in as an active minority investor. We went in and we helped restructure the business and helped secure one of the contracts it had won. In terms of impact in the oil and gas sector, you might be aware that there's a push drive for local content and basically the increased involvement of competent local operators. And we found Aquamarine as one of those businesses that had done a lot over that space and needed capital and support in driving that growth and becoming a more dominant player in that space. And that's what we helped do. It's created a lot of jobs for Nigerian professionals in that space, as well as just increase the reputation and the profile of local operators in the oil and gas space. Stoneworks is a granite quarry business that's operating out of Akure in Ondo State. It generates building aggregates for the construction and infrastructure space. It was an investment we actually incubated in 2009 and it became operational in 2010. In terms of impact, as you would know, Nigeria is highly deficient in infrastructure and housing, and we found that building aggregates is actually a major raw material in the construction sector, and the demand-supply dynamics there are favorable for competent operators. In terms of governance and mining rights and environmental impact assessment, we thought we could establish a player there that could operate profitably, but at global best standards, and we've been able to achieve that with Stoneworks. Crest Agro is an integrated cassava plantation and cassava processing business operating in Kogi State. It's a business that we started incubating in 2013, and basically today that business has one of the largest cassava plantations in Nigeria. They've acquired about 13,000 hectares of land and they farmed about 1,000 of that. They're in process of installing their first starch processing plant. It will be operational the fourth quarter of this year. By the time it's operational, it would actually be one of the largest starch suppliers, producers and suppliers in Nigeria by the time it's established. The vision of the business is actually to become the number one supplier of processed starch and related derivatives to players like Nestle, Unilever, and other big FMCG operators across Nigeria and West Africa. In terms of impact, that business has already had significant impact in its region. Today, it has a little bit over 60 full-time employees, employs over 1,000 farmers in terms of outgrowers, as well as, should I say, even contract farmers on its farm. And also, it's basically gone a long way in basically making sure it sets up its plant along best practices in terms of waste management and water usage and just complying to global best practices. CardinalStone Registrars, as it's known today, is another investment we made. We made this in 2013. It was an acquisition we made from FCMB. It used to be CSRL at the time. There was an opportunity there where we saw a back office business in the financial services space where we felt with the strength of our institution, we could go in, we could optimize the operational standards, optimize how it basically was operating and the efficiency of income generation in the business and return to shareholders. It was an opportunity that came about based on a lot of the restructuring that was going on with the banking sector at that time. For us, it's been a significant addition to CardinalStone platform, where we've actually increased the standard of service in the Nigerian registrar space. Today, CardinalStone Registrars is one of the top registrars in the market in terms of service delivery, in terms of client satisfaction, and so it's an investment we're very proud of. And then DataGuard, our final investment, is an investment that came out as a follow-on from our registrar investment. As we saw the headwinds in the registrar business, we started thinking to ourselves, what next? And we saw an ancillary service in document management services that the registrar business offered, and we felt this was a space that was very fragmented in Nigeria and was still unstructured, and we saw where the market was going, and we felt we could be the ones to lead the structuring of that sector and the consolidation. So it was an investment that we made, initiated in 2015, and our first full service facility became operational late last year.